You literally just waited until Coco left, and then you're like, let's hit this thing live.
It was 8:00.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, just the boys hanging out now. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, and what we were wondering right before is how a team that's 1-17 can have more points than a team that's 13-6.
Pay to play, like you said. Like it's
Yeah,
just.
I think it's
here's
just,
a 7-17 team that's going to be like a
They've lost
top 20 seed in the fucking E Nationals.
Yeah, but they've won one game and just they've seven tournaments, that is probably, or 6 that they're not doing it. So it's crazy out there, man.
That's a lot. Like, and then you got 14. Let's see here. Let's work backwards now. Oh boy, we're gonna have a fucking night.
What were you doing to that? What were you doing to that thing? Why were you doing that? Why were you popping it?
Well, I'll tell you when we get her going.
Okay.
The number 8 seed in the E Nationals has 1,614 points. They are 16-22. I gotta tell you what, if I'm one of these teams down here, like, and then you got its 26-14 team with 992 points. I would hate to be the team that pulls that team.
Yeah, this is just like, I mean, when you get into a big tournament like this,
that's what happens.
Yeah, you have a team at 519 and they're 14-4 in class. They're down at the very, very, like, they are very low.
The Bean Shooters.
The Bean Shooters?
Bean Shooters. They're 23-5. They're out of Elmont, New York. They're 23-5, 1040 points. They're the 30.
They're the one power ranking seed, Bean Shooters. And then the team that I was talking about that has 519 points at 14-4.
And they're going to be the
fourth to last, fourth to last seed. I think it was.
Oh, and they got Cookie Screw, who's number 1, 35-21 overall, in class 29-8.
So they're the one ranking points.
Yeah, they're the 1 points ranked.
But they have a 1,200 plus. They're
1229.
Yeah, that's good. Like, you're going to get a decent draw, and unless you get this 14-4 team, and all of a sudden your first game's a game.
Or you got Bean Shooters or Scrappy Dudes. It's amazing how some of these teams with these like 26-14 in class records are New York teams with no points.
Well, it's right, but they play a few tournaments a year, right? In U-Trip, or do they play a lot? I don't know.
No, like, I'm looking at it right now. They are, like, I'm looking at Scrappy Dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tournaments.
Quite a few. That's quite a few.
Yeah. The most points they got was GSL E-State at 185. And they finished 5th. I mean, they haven't finished above 3rd. They're all E tournaments.
And it looks like a lot of them are qualifiers. So the point totals are like when you play in the Beast, and it's not worth a lot even if you win.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Makes sense. Whew.
Wild.
I can't believe how many teams there are, though. That's crazy. 51 teams. Hey, do you remember the last nationals we played in?
When we were in E's?
E-National? Yeah.
It was probably similar to that, wasn't it? Mid-40s?
Yeah, we didn't play a full game until the game we got
knocked out. Yeah. It was like 7 run rule wins and 1 loss that way.
Yeah. AUIT pushed our shit in that year.
Mm-hmm.
But we pushed everybody else's shit in, other than the last team we played.
Yeah, it was Hurricanes.
Yeah, that was a good game too. I think it was like a 5-4 game.
I gotta tell you. Let me tell you something. I kind of like what New York's doing. I like what New York's doing here with these qualifier events. Let me tell you why. Let me explain here. What's the goal at the end of the year?
It's Worlds.
To have fun.
Smiles.
That's league nights. That's
I
league.
need to find that then.
Yeah, it's been a tough year.Got into
I
it
don't
with my
play
coach
league
this year.
though. I'm having fun.
But
Allegedly.
we talked about it last year about seedings and how when you get to these bigger tournaments, how they actually mean something, and especially when you get to Worlds, and it's like I'm playing a fucking 8 or a 4-3 team from Florida, and they just beat the shit out of us. Or you're playing the Amish that played in like 4 tournaments in one youth trip, but most were one nation. You get to play a fuckload of tournaments with your team in these qualifiers, not get a ton of points, get enough points, and then you're going to get a really good first game here in nationals. You go down to Worlds, you're probably going to get a good first matchup. Like I'm probably going to make note of this in the Bring It podcast notebook and see what they look like at Worlds. I wonder if that has something to do with this. Not a bad idea.
So you're saying just be able to play as many games as possible and not worry about what it is, just that you're playing them?
Well, because we were talking about that last year where it's like, well, play up or play down or don't play a ton because you're penalized once you get to Worlds. Where, especially at the D, maybe not so much at the C. I don't know if penalized is the right word, but
Penalized isn't, yeah.
Where you're playing a team where you're playing the Hornets out of Ohio that play a ton of one nation, handful of U-Trip, but that's your first game, versus where you can maybe get a better seeding. And I mean, it's all crapshoot at the
So
end of the
basically,
day.
right. So what you're saying is it's almost closer to being randomized.
Correct.
With it not being the same type of point system across the country.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't see why. Yeah.
I was just recalling something we brought up from last year.
No, we did. Yeah, we did. I just never remember what my stance is on these things, or what I say that night.
I was actually going with your stance.
See, my mind has changed, but it is like that though, where some teams are kind of all over the place. You could just because the points ranking has nothing to do with how good a team is.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think I was more on the lines of it would be cool to see a power rating based seeding.
I think we did go back and look at that, and it was kind of like if you took a percentage, it actually kind of ended up working out pretty much how it ended up going. So I guess this is all for naught. Let's see the scrappy dudes real quick. I'm going to take a look to see who they're looking.
I have them up. They've played 40 games.
No, but who are they playing in the bracket?
Okay,
that could take you a little bit.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, unless you already have it, another
Beyond
thing that
ordinary.
Beyond ordinary. Okay.
6-10, 6-12 overall, 583 points. They haven't played a lot either.
And then they're playing. So Scrappy Dudes is playing Beyond Ordinary, who is.
Is that just extraordinary or? What is Beyond Ordinary?
It's
to ordinary and beyond. That would have been a better name. To Ordinary and Beyond. And you're gonna Buzz Lightyear.
Bed Bath and Beyond Ordinary.
To Bed Bath and Beyond.
Ordinary.
You guys are reaching right now.
Yeah.
So, but then you're Scrappy Dudes. You play these guys that don't look, just by their record, overly impressive. So let's say they beat them. And now your second game is against Deeply Needed because of your points from the qualifiers going into a team with an in-class record of 16-18.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bad draw because you've been playing all qualifiers. Now you haven't played up in a D tournament. You haven't, played any big tournaments, been majority of these qualifiers. So I don't know. Just talking out my ass at this point.
I've noticed that a lot of the E teams will only play E tournaments.
There's a
lot of teams who've done that. Yeah, done that through the years. And I think it's one of those things because they don't want to be bumped mid-year. Like they're worried about being bumped. I do think that that's the case. Because they don't want to go out there and beat a bunch of D teams as an E team. Yeah. Right? Because the game is pretty similar the way it's played. So,
Like I'm looking right now, I'm looking at, team that got a bye, Thunder Gun Express played up a handful of times this year. Cookie Screw played up a handful of times this year. Who else?
Right, they're gonna get double points when they do that.
Yeah,
So it
and
makes
those
sense
are
that they have a
those are
bye.
some of the better ones. You know, JLG. I don't know if they actually ever did.
Yep, they have a bye too.
Yeah.
City Sound, man, they didn't get bumped last year.
No, they were
No.
close to the cusp line.
Wow.
If you look at it right now, they won't get bumped from this year either.
Well, they
Let's go on
learned.
the run.
To play worse.
they learned. Yeah, they learned how to play it during the year.
Yeah,
Huh.
most of these teams that I've been clicking on have played 4 or 5 D games, and that's it.
Well, I'm ready to play some D games tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bring It. We're going to have ourselves a night here tonight, like always, like every Tuesday with us. Just fucking beautiful twat waffles here. Love that Louisville Slugger shirt. Louisville Slugger shirt there, D-Money. I got to get myself a couple with our code BIP21. 20% off at sluggerslowpitch.com. But we got a big weekend coming up here. We got the E-Nationals in the Northeast. We've got a couple of the boys here heading out to Columbus, Ohio for the Worlds in One Nation. But first, D-Money. Let's have them, baby. What you drinking?
What's going on, J-Ro? Tonight I got a passion fruit White Claw, and then I have a Nipa on deck. So
Oh.
I'm liking starting out a little slow with the White Claw.
It's not a bad idea.
Let the edible creep its way in while you're sitting on a nice seltzer. And then
I need to go to the dispensary. Like,
and then at 8:30, you're just like, whatever happens, happens.
Oh, Coco, what's up, buddy? What you drinking?
Nothing. We talked yesterday. I'm taking alcohol-free kind of time here, so I have just a Mandarin orange seltzer water and a non-alcoholic from last week.
What flavor? What brand?
Of the seltzer is
Yeah.
just Hannaford. Just Hannaford. I don't get enough difference in them to need to spend twice as much.
So one that's pretty similar to that I really liked was it's like the orange creamsicle from Polar.
Oh,
And that Polar makes a nice one, I think.
lovely seltzer.
Yep.
Not a creamsicle guy. And I know that most people very
You're
much
drinking
I
orange
don't
tangerine.
No, Mandarin orange.
Mandarin
not
orange.
Creamsicle. No creamsicle aspect to it.
Very, very close in flavor, I would say.
Nope.
You're just missing the
vanilla.
just a touch of vanilla.
Yeah, and I don't like. I'm
Vanilla
not a
bean.
big vanilla guy. Yeah, so we'll go with that.
Seltzer is fucking delicious, though.
Yeah,
Jero, what do you got over there? What was the thing you were doing earlier? What's going on? over there?
We're having some fun tonight, boys. Well, since Coco's not drinking,
Yeah, he's doing it for me.
I don't know what this is, but it's
I'm going with. You ever hear of this? Well, you don't know what it is, yeah.
no.
It's a soju. It's a South Korean. It's a Korean beverage.
Before you get too far, you cannot hold that green bottle
Yeah.
up to a green screen.
Yeah, you look like me.
So, it's soju. It's a.
You're making the
It's a
top of the
spirit.
bottle disappear. Wait,
Yeah, well.
He just made the drink disappear too.
I don't know much, so I don't know really much about it except that the Koreans love to drink this when they're at their like barbecue, their Korean barbecue at their restaurants. So I went to Bert's Beers, and he had it. So I was like, I'm gonna fuck around with soju tonight. So what they will typically do is they'll take half a shot of soju, they'll drop it in their beer and drink it. So he didn't have any Korean beer, so I went Kirin. So I got I had a 6-pack next to me. I'm down to a 4-pack, and I had more soju in here. I might want to slow down on it. I make no promises tonight, boys.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and the first thing that popped up was it's between 16 and 25% alcohol.
Yeah, this one's 19.
Okay, so all right.
So those are 19, but it's all right. I'm drinking it with a light beer. This is probably 4.5%, 5%. I just saw how much of that soju is gone, and I'm probably gonna pump the brakes for a minute. I might figure out like a word that we continuously say, and then I'll take a shot of it.
Oh boy, that doesn't sound like slowing down at all. because I'm not drinking, so I'll just keep saying the word because it won't make me worse.
I'll fucking
Wait.
say it. Oh,
Hold on though, like the smack is all. I'm looking at videos. The smack is a thing.
oh yeah.
So they put a spoon in and they hit the spoon and then
They
it
hit
just
it.
does like a fizz.
Yeah,
What?
that's what I was missing. And I didn't want to
Spoon?
do it on the table because, like, with a microphone. But
Right, but
Grab it.
it all it needs is a little.
just a little.
What does
little-
it do? I don't.
That's all I
understand.
need is a little.
Well,
I don't.
just needs a little jazz hands.
I don't know what I'm doing
So
with my
let's-
hands.
Let me see. I don't know. Let's try the.
So the soju goes in.
So here we go. We're pouring the soju. We got the beer. I don't have anything like that. Boom. That's in there. You just heard
Boom.
it. Let's.
Okay, he's looking for a utensil here
You know what?
for the listener only.
I got a
fans.
beer bottle.
No,
Got a beer bottle. This could go.
this
Jesus.
this
few
is
different
not a good
ways.
idea.
Holy hell! It's gonna glass on glass seems like the play here.
But so that's what I was just. I'm doing a little thing, and I go, pop,
So hit the bottom of it.
pop. It's
See,
not
you got to
working.
get
Yeah,
something
baby.
metal in there. That's what I'm seeing on YouTube here,
Oh, he's gone.
and he's gone. So what do you think this tastes like? Because
Shit.
you think so?
I have a bad feeling it's like,
He's drinking a Japanese beer
it-
with a Korean shot in it.
yeah.
All right,
you
boys,
couldn't
we
have
got a
done
spoon.
that 70 years ago.
Spoons
It's
in
gonna
here.
be. It's a
Oh!
rice. It's a
Pop!
rice liqueur.
Hit
Oh!
the no. You got to hit the.
Man, it's.
I think you have to hit the spoon from what I'm from what I'm seeing. You
But
have
if
to,
I hit the spoon,
don't
it's gonna
do.
break
Yeah,
the glass.
you can't show anybody. Like maybe just wiggle the spoon
Oh,
around.
this is turning into.
Put the spoon into
Let
the
me move it
and
around.
wiggle it around from the top.
Like that.
Yep.
Oh, that's all I gotta
Hey.
do. Hey,
Stir-
It's
So
called
stir
stirring.
it.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, this is the quality content that's gonna skyrocket us to the top of the charts of the softball
woo!
podcasts.
It will get good when he realizes that his soju is gone and he goes to a second bottle of it.
Yeah, and you guys
I
thought I
don't
was
know.
joking, but because we're the only softball podcast,
Mhm.
it's very easy to skyrocket to the top.
Moving on up.
I really gotta. I gotta slow down on this soju. I'm already a half a bottle deep of it, and I just started drinking it. When did we jump on here?
17 minutes.
I
Just before
literally
that, 20
when
minutes
you
ago?
when you left, we gotta do a long one tonight because we gotta stay on until this shit starts to hit.
We
we,
we have to do a long one.
We have to.
Oh,
Hey, give a little respect. All right, so what happened this
Kidding.
weekend? Where are we going? It's showing its head a lot. Like
Yeah, call me when you got no
fupa's
class.
receding. Uh,
this is
Love
gonna
you
be
guys.
good. We got nationals though.
Let's-
Nationals. We got a world.
Where are we starting?
We got soju.
I got soju. I would
Going
suggest
international.
go to Burt's Beers in Manchester and go get some soju. See how I act in about an hour, and you can judge for yourself.
There's. Let's skip right. Yeah,
But the first thing,
there are
wow.
jokes that we can make that really shouldn't be made, but let's just move on.
No, make it.
No, I don't want to. Where are we going? We going D? We going?
I'm not.
C.
We're not D. We're not going. There's no D to go. I'm always. Down for a
Oh,
little
right.
C,
We were
a
just
little-
looking
maybe a
at.
little
We were
D and the V.
speculating the D because the D is full though, right?
D is full, and it
No,
needs
it's
to
not.
be next to the V.
Max, yeah,
Jesus.
about 99% full.
Oh, we got 52. We can do 50. One more team. Oh,
Yeah. So, softball.
fucking.
These
Ooh.
sounds that you're making are already making me nervous. There's a lot of.
Yeah, the soju is coming through hard.
No, we're in good shape, guys. We're doing great. We're great. We're going to Columbus this weekend, boys. D, you and I, we're
true.
going to fucking Berliner. I can't fucking wait to get out to Berliner again. I can't wait to have the day in Columbus before you show up.
You're going a full day early. You just got to get away from me for a little while.
Yeah, I wanted to get away.
You're like, I need to get away from Dustin, so I'm gonna go a day early.
No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving Friday morning. I'm probably gonna be at my Wolves. I'm leaving Friday morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
11
I'm
o'clock.
not too far behind you.
No, you're a couple hours. And then I'm probably gonna go to Wolf's Ridge Brewing. So if you could send me a copy of your license so I can put you on, so you can just drive, because I'll be shit faced by the time you show up. I'm kidding. I'll take care of you.
I mean, I think you'll have the car, but yeah, I'll.
Yeah, I will have the car at that point. Yeah, I'll just Uber it. I'm gonna Uber and pick you and Gonzo and Vandy up.
Yeah.
Hey guy, where's the car? Oh, it's back at the brewery. I need somebody to drive for me. What happened? I'm like, have you guys never heard I love Columbus, Ohio? So let's jump right into it. Looking forward to this. You know, I haven't taken a look at the D out in at One Nation. We're gonna get into the E Northeast National, but that's gonna be after One Nation, and that's because that's how you drive ratings. We let you sit around. Because that's the highlight of the show today. It's the Northeast National. Let's talk about something we saw here today. I got a text from a one Tony Caruso in our group chat talking about this One Nation. Why is this? There we go. This One Nation website. Not a bad little website. You know, it's okay. It works. But it's not as seamless as maybe U-Trip. And, you know, maybe it's just that we don't use it as much. Watch this, though. Watch this. Pull up the info. Holy shit, we got some team comparisons. First off, we're playing a team that's sponsored by a gentleman's club. Unfortunately, they're in Indiana, so I don't really think we're going to be able to visit their sponsor. But we're scrolling down and looking. They have fucking game lines. There are. How nice are the softball degens with this one?
I want to see if it moves. If they find out someone's not coming, does that line move? That would be amazing.
I think it's purely off of all of these statistics. Right
Yes,
above
that
this.
makes the most sense, and I assumed, but
So-
I liked it. Like so much stuff. The strength percentile and schedule difficulty. I don't know where
Yeah,
the
what
points
is-
come from, but I
Yeah,
like
what
it.
is the schedule difficulty out of?
I don't know.
10, I would
Are
assume?
points good or bad?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I'm not
so
sure.
it's interesting. We were kind of bouncing around some of this. What was the one we were really looking at? Was it Young Money? No. 18,
one
the
at the
16,
top?
17
It was
game.
ruthless
Yeah.
Ohio Steel.
Yeah.
It was like outrageous.
Whew, this is the 16-17 game talking about seedings and points. That is tell you what, Ohio Steel plus 710 if you're feeling saucy. Anybody want to be a bookie for this?
Jesus.
You know somebody is. Like, you know
Man, their
somebody's
point
taking
differential
bets in
is
this.
tough.
We were talking
plus
before-
14.
Yeah. Before the show, I think they were a D team in U-Trip last year. They were when we were looking at the Worlds from last year. I saw that name,
Okay.
and judging by the record, D sounds about right.
And then you have Cedar Creek, who is bumped in USSSA to C, but they're still D in One Nation, and they're actually playing in the C World Series. There's no prediction here because it's a mixed class. I got to tell you, I probably still put money on Cedar Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we played this Super Friends team last year.
Were they
I think we
friendly?
beat them. Yeah, they were fine. I think we played them in Worlds.
Okay.
I believe I remember their name. Maybe we didn't, but I can check.
But we got a
Good
couple of New York teams here. We got Rascals and Smoke, both from, you know, that Western New York area. Also, we got Fisher softball from Pennsylvania. This is going to be a tough little game. This is an upset right here. This is Fisher softball's minus 5.5, minus 220, minus 5.5. They're laying. Slawback Trucking, the underdog, as
I think
the
it's
higher
Schleba.
seed.
It's it's the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah. Look at that. They're the 6th seed, and they're the underdog against the 27. And then Vramware Frickers, you know, met a couple guys there. This Maryland Young Guns versus Maryland's Fathom here is going to be an interesting one. Again, looks like it could be a pretty tight one. This could be primed for an upset in round 1, potentially. I just love this. Like, I could sit here all day and go through all of these fucking matchups and just start throwing money around.
Yeah,
So
and
30
like
teams, 30,
Coco was
60.
saying, like we don't know, like
Shit.
they're clearly not
Yeah,
getting
makes no
inside
sense.
information on any of this, and they haven't seen any of these people play. Most likely, the people
No.
who are doing this, but
With the number of D-gens that are already, myself being one of them, involved in the softball community, is this a slippery slope we're getting involved in? Are people going to start throwing One Nation games?
Why
Like, oh,
haven't we started doing this?
we
We
need
keep
the
talking about
infrastructure.
how we keep talking about like how do we monetize it? Like here's how we monetize it. We start throwing lines out for games and we'll be all right. Yeah, and they even do it. So you have to be class versus class. That's what it is then. Class versus class, and they do the comparison and give you the line.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. But nice. I mean, this is going to be a great one. I loved being in Berlin or at the Mojo. It was my first time out there. D, I know you've played out there before. This complex is unbelievable. It's something we've talked about multiple times. If you ever get the chance to go out and play in Berlin, or it's worth a trip.
Oh yeah, it's a great complex. The only weird thing here is that you do have a world tournament that's being played on like multiple different types of dimensions.
What do you mean by that?
So you're going to have teams like some are playing on a baseball field that down the lines it's like 315, it goes out to 360. And then other teams are going to be playing on like a 300-foot field all the way around.
Yep.
Some of them might even be playing on smaller fields.
Jesus.
Than that.
Hey,
because it's a great complex, but there's like a million fields, and to squeeze them all in, they're all different shapes and sizes. So it's not like you're going to. It's one of those obstacles like the wind in Vieira.
And you do see here, like you're looking at, the winners bracket, at least for the C's, all pretty much stay on the big fields throughout the tournament. I'm sure in the losers bracket, early on, you're going to be on different fields. I think we're potentially, if we win games, we're staying on the big fields. Or no, do we go big, little, big?
Big, little, big, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like 14 through 17 are the baseball fields.
I think you're right.
For some reason, I was thinking that there were 2 complexes of baseball fields, but I think there's only 1.
Yeah. But, hey, it's, I would just make sure you walk the fences because...
Right, because when you have a million fields, it's there could be a hole in the bottom of a fence.
Yeah, definitely don't remember a fucking home run going under a fence when there's a fucking hole there. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm not a twat.
And the guy raises his hand, looks down, raises his hand.
The fucking whole team raised their hand. Yeah, umpire said, no, it's Ohio boys. Let's get them fucking running around the bases. Let's go. We got to get out of here. Hey, can we go look at it? No. Fuck.
So, D, to your point, though, it sounds like these might be more common that they're big, but if you're down in Florida, when we were there, that B and C year, when we were a C team, right? We went to the BC. I remember my first game in center was on a baseball field, but then we played on the other fields that are shorter.
So our first year, they have like, I want to say it's probably like a Babe Ruth field, like it's like 325 all the way around.
Right.
I would say it's for like that age group. Mm-hmm. So those which they use in B and above,
right?
Those were just regular fields, but in 2018, I think they used them at C as well.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, there is that little difference, and even playing on the Disney fields, you had the regular softball fields, and then you still had the baseball fields where your infield changes and the outfield. Like, so you do get that a little bit, but it sounds like if this is half the fields and it's 30 feet difference like that, I can definitely see that playing a part in just as an outfielder or even an infielder, you have to remember, hey, I need to not play the same spot.
Yeah. The only thing with Vieira is you're playing on the same dimensions every single time.
I thought those baseball fields are bigger than the other. So
the baseball fields, they originally put the fence at 325 and now I think they moved them into 315 or 300.
Okay.
All the way. Like, so if you walk the field, they actually have lines where the fences go.
Gotcha. I just remember hitting the center field fence and it was a long way away.
Yeah. That first year was, I think they played them at 325. or 320 or whatever it was. But those were because we hardly had any home runs that year.
Yeah.
And then the next year we had
that's
a
right.
million.
Too many.
Yeah. Too many. Yeah. We had, I think, 8 for outs in that second game. Is that good? Is
Not
that
usually.
is it
It's
not
frowned
good?
upon.
Okay, not good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Jesus,
But yeah.
I just got sent the alleged home run ball video.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh.
But
But yeah.
I
mean, I'm excited to get out there. Those balls are going to be fun to hit. Like,
Yeah.
just they always are. Those balls are.
Make sure
freaking
if you're
nukes.
playing,
If
make
they're
sure
the-
you're using the China balls. The China
Yeah.
balls are the good ones this year. Last year it was the other way. This year it's the China balls are the ones that really fly. So make sure you
So
throw
load up
those
on
ones
those.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those
The
balls.
China balls. Because
China.
I know I've got a case. I grabbed a case for Tony that I'm flying home. They're the China balls here just to make sure that we've got the right ones. We don't want to get out there without the we don't want we don't oh boy. Oh, I'm liking this soju. I'm going Korean. I just
the
asked Amanda.
chemicals?
Yeah. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
can you grab me some
Yeah.
instant noodles? I want some hot pot. So no, I'm looking forward to getting out there. It's gonna be a great time. I'm looking forward to getting out there and seeing the Smoke Boys again and being with those fucking D-gens. You want to talk about a group of D-gens? Holy fuck. Smoke is pretty good with it. Saw them at the firecracker. So it'll be fun and hey, again, we're in Columbus, Ohio. It's better than that. But speaking of turf fields, and this was something that popped up this weekend. And I talked to Benny Call last night about it. That complex in Evansville, Indiana, where the Pocket City Duel was it looked beautiful. Talked to JMO. It was very nice. Evansville, Indiana, the home of Don Mattingly, home of the Evansville Purple Aces. And we got talking about the turf. I guess they use coconut husk or corn husk infield, Phil. Instead
Were
of
you
black
were you
pebbles.
calling it coconut husk? Because he said corn, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Jero said coconut.
I was told it was coconut husk by JMO, and then Benny said it was corn.
I mean, just by the region alone, it's probably not corn. It's got with the amount of coconut trees
that Indiana's known for.
Yeah.
I'm
gotta
just
be
going off of
coconut.
what I was told.
Yeah.
Maybe Gary can tell us because I know he had he was really looking at that turf to figure out what the fuck was going on. But Benny was saying a ball would hit, and it would spin one way. And then Benny said it would hit again, it would grab the fill, and it would kick the complete opposite. And you saw it with some of the fielding this weekend, and Benny was saying, he goes, they said last year it was the most errors at a conference tournament by a fucking mile. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
I never heard of it, so I was researching it. Maybe they have a lot of ball pythons or tortoises. That's apparently what coconut husk is for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it happens like that's another, like, you play at the Plex early in the morning at 7:30. Like some of these teams are going to be doing on Saturday. It's going to be wet, and the ball is it moves with a backspin much quicker, I feel. So
Your
those balls get through the
move when
infield
they
like
get wet.
much quicker than they normally would.
It's funny, right? Like in the morning you're used to it, and then like if you're playing at the Plex all day and it dries out, and then that sun starts disappearing, right? It starts kicking down. It's that there's a little bit of condensation, and that first ball hit to you in the infield. I don't know what the fuck you guys in the outfield do besides miss balls. But like all of a sudden you just see a ball skip at you, and you're like, where the fuck did that just come from? Because the sun starts, the temperatures are changing, that condensation starts to pick up, and it gets a little slicker.
I mean, I'm very interested to see if it, not saying that these guys are lying, but if it goes to like back and forth.
That's what I was
That
told.
seems, yeah, well, maybe.
Coco, what happens in the outfield? That just looks like such a far away place for us, right, Dustin?
I remember playing outfield or not. No, I remember playing on a full turf field in baseball,
Yeah.
and outfielders looking like idiots on a ball that would hit the turf and then bounce over their head.
Yeah, I know Challenge Cup, there was a ball that it like bounces, and you're like, oh dear Christ. I hope I stood far enough back, and you're like on your tippy toes jumping, and Oh yeah, and when it gets by you, it's so frustrating because there's almost nothing you could have done differently. I guess catch it in the air and then it would have been an out, sure.
That's
but
the
yeah.
science behind it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're talking about the plex and it's not the turf, once it starts getting early morning and light and nighttime there, the ball's going to skip in the outfield with that too.
Yeah.
So it sucks when it like flies through the infield and then gets caught up in the wet grass. And then the next time there's a line drive, it just skips to the fence.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Well, I love that AstroTurf, the all-turf outfield in Vieira. I think it's the greatest thing personally, especially after that game against Young Guns last year at the Worlds where I just had 4 ground rule doubles in a game. It was fucking beautiful. But yeah, no, so it was interesting. It looks, I'm telling you what, D, I think you said it well. JMO was saying the airport's 7 minutes away, the hotel's 7 minutes away. Coco, we found our Airbnb for next year. D, you said it could be a great place for a Worlds.
Well, not if the corn husks are kicking balls left and right.
Coconut husk.
Coconut. I think it's.
Coconut.
See, I was defending you, saying that it was coconut, but now a day after the fact, it has to be corn.
Let's see.
But who knows? It could be
Turf
coconut.
field.
Could you imagine importing that many coconut husks?
Well, there's a cork infill solution for synthetic turf, which is coconut husk and cork.
That sounds much.
There
That
it
sounds
is.
nice. Yeah. I was also talking last night because I went down and hit at the Tell.
Would have loved to have seen. Would have loved to have known you were there early. I would have come.
Yeah, I
down.
could have gone early.
Well, my guy texted me and he doesn't let me pitch to him very often. So, yeah. Is it worth buying one of those like $600 to $900 home plate mats? Like it just seems, yeah. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna slide into this, but they use them at the PIF, and I would honestly rather slide into a flat mat that's sticking up a little bit than slide into a foot hole into home.
How did it hold up at the PIF? How did it hold up
Fine.
at the PIF? Yeah,
fine. Yeah, I mean, it was as long
I
as
was more worried about sliding into that mat. Well, not me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't
right, because you don't really need much of it behind the plate. You know what I mean? So you could move it up a little bit.
Yeah,
you can get them big enough.
They had it back like that at the PIF because all the Canadians walk a lot. Yeah, I thought they could have moved it up more. I like it. I mean, I like that idea. I really do. Like, I actually don't mind the turf. I like the turf box. I actually love being a Myrtle when Myrtle does the dirt mound and then the dirt box, but it's like turf underneath it.
Yeah, I know I've played before where it's a dirt around the plate, but they put the turf mats, they bury them.
Yeah, so they did that at one of the fields at the PIF.
Okay.
Which I thought was like
Bridgewater has turf at the box. They have.
See, I think it's just better just to have a flat box, but I've gone way off topic.
It's softball.
Sometimes I like sometimes I like an innie, sometimes I like an outie box. It all depends.
I just don't like leaning forward.
Sometimes you got to really dig in there and make sure you get it excited to really get you the right
I'm
grip.
Excited to hit on turf again.
I don't know. It doesn't happen to the lefty box too often. It's nice.
Right. Just another advantage.
Anytime you just find a box that you're comfortable in, you just leave it there and you just keep going back.
You just stay in that box as long as you can.
Soak it in.
Soak it all in.
Sometimes you call timeout and you just you step out of the box.
Sometimes you have to apologize for taking too many swings. Too quick of swings.
Like I gotta get back in this box.
Rub across it just because.
Yeah. You always got to wipe it, make sure it's playable.
Sweep it with your feet.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like to play around with my feet sometimes.
Oh God, I want to say something. So many things right now, but that's going to be for
whatever
the
comes
spin-off.
to your mind.
Vanda Sex. I got into fleet play one time.
Whoa! We're talking about softball.
Yeah, I know.
Now I've really screwed this whole thing.
You know what? Let's get that soju back here.
Oh,
Let's get
More
that soju back here.
Northeast Nationals.
Yeah.
Are we gonna hit the seed first, or
if we're gonna
also-
be shitting on smoke, come up with new material. We hammered smoke 2 years ago. We beat up on him pretty good. Let's not recycle our old jokes.
Who's recycling
Yeah.
jokes?
Which ones now?
People for One Nation.
Oh, is it me?
No.
Did I do it?
No, it's people from out west, in the Midwest. They also, they're not big fans of the podcast. They don't know us as well out there. South and Canada know us, but not Ohio as well. Just come up with new material. We do. And Tony found out a way for us to kind of, no, we don't.
Yeah, you're just on the team now. That's the only reason you're not using the same lines.
Yeah, come up with new material,
Like-
idiots. Jeez.
Hey, just join the fucking team, okay?
Yeah, it's easier. Just join the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I still shit on Tony. Although Vinny's a fucking idiot. Vincent's a fucking moron, but that's where we'll leave it at.
Until that
Vinny, you're a
soju gets going.
Yeah, until 2 more soju mixes or whatever.
Amanda's bringing
Fizz-
home noodles,
fizzies.
some goju sauce. Like, we're in good shape.
Can we call them soju fizzies?
Hoya!
That
I don't know
was
what else you're supposed to do.
brilliant.
Okay.
So do you want to start with E or C?
We're going to eat. Wait, let's see what. I'll see you later.
Okay.
What are we seeing?
See? Are we looking at?
Oh, I forget C National. We only talked about it 3 fucking times. I never pulled it up.
I don't know if we
GDF.
actually did. We talked about E and D a lot, but I don't think we actually talked about this.
Well,
yet.
we do talk about ED a lot. It's something that happens with age and maybe weight and maybe just, when you're not crying, you can't get it. E and D, a full bracket, if you will. So let's go with C. Do you have C up?
No, I have E up.
I'm talking to fucking D. Wow, we are.
Oh, we're not.
and by
Are we
we,
sharing?
I mean me.
You
No,
want to share
you
the
don't have
screen? No.
Oh, just because I haven't looked at C. Yeah, I haven't looked at C.
Do you
You
want to
maybe-
look at the screen?
I kind of do.
You want a screen grab?
Yeah, can I see it? Can I take
Oh,
a
I
peek?
guess so. Yeah. Let's share this.
Grab-
How do
grab
I
my
do
ED.
this?
Grab my ED and make it already.
How do I even?
Boy, you have to present it.
I'm presenting. Yeah, I'm getting
Has
there.
it been that long?
Yeah, we haven't done this really.
That I knew how. That's why.
Also, just want to show you. This is what I'm looking at here.
Oh, there we go. That's
how
it.
I
You
did
got to
that?
hit
That
the
looks-
chopsticks. Yeah, I did that. I've done a lot of that tonight. Oh, they put way
didn't do
less in
that.
than I've been putting in.
Oh, see,
I
this
need
is
a
only
second
half a
one.
shot.
Uh,
Wow, he's getting. This is technical.
Mhm.
So I've been putting in a full shot, like not a full. I've been putting in like to here.
See,
Oh.
just slams it down.
Oh, you're gonna throw up everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we here?
I
Whoa.
can't wait to have noodles later. That's gonna help me out.
Huh.
So the C tournament's at the Plex. The C Nationals at the Plex. Can you blow that up?
You want me to blow it up even more? Oh my god. Ugh.
There we go.
This is why we shouldn't do this.
I just hadn't looked at it. That's why.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple things. So I'm not going to be here, so I can kind of look and see, because obviously I'd say,
Yeah, but you guys will win game 1.
I mean, we should.
You should. And then game 2 will be.
We do
tough.
have a lot of guys missing. Going into that with the age old, we were missing some guys.
You
got a lot-
already got that one played in.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
already being played.
yeah. I mean, I'm getting out in front of it actually.
You know what?
We're
Just-
missing a lot of guys. A lot of starters we're missing.
Just because I'm fucking sick and tired of listening about them. You know who I think is going to do really, really well this? Like, I think they could win the whole fucking thing.
Who's that?
Toro Construction. I just think they can go out there and win the whole fucking thing. Easy, hands down. This is Toro's tournament to lose.
You're just doing this. To
I know what he's
Spanky.
doing. Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
doing
fuck
this to
Spanky.
I know what he's
Yeah,
doing.
I
fuck
was looking
Spanky.
at that side of the bracket is fucked.
It's so hard, man. You got
That
LFT,
side of the bracket you have Juno, LFT, that Chiefs team I think played.
Yep.
They did decent.
JSI.
You have GTP checking Toro,
Toro
AYT.
AOIT game 1, and Garrett Clark I think is healthy-ish. That's a
And then you have-
hard fucking bracket.
You even had that season athletics team who've won some game. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they won a few like games that maybe I wasn't expecting them to win.
Wow.
like maybe at the Firecracker. I don't know. I could just be saying that.
Yeah, I think it might
Yeah.
be.
You think I might be?
I don't know. Toro. I know with Toro we beat them. That's the only game I paid attention to for them. I'll be honest.
Jesus.
Why else would I care?
But yeah, I think that's the
Guy
this is the
shows up.
tough.
Guy shows
Yeah.
up to a
I thought
tournament to maybe
I was like,
broadcast.
who the hell were you playing with when you played against Toro? And then I realized, oh yeah, we played on Toro once. Like your play?
We scored a lot of runs.
Yeah,
I-
that side of the bracket
It's
is
tough.
Oh, you got everybody. Like, reloaded on the other side. I don't know.
be
what's the
interested to
Lex
see
Bakery
how
look
they
like?
bounce back without was it Perry?
What happened? Oh,
Or
he broke his.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broke his.
Yeah. At the
Yeah.
The
yeah.
injury.
the
yeah,
Firecracker.
Firecracker.
Not good, yeah. So I mean,
Good.
they're gonna be
They're
be
deep.
solid.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how Blackout comes
Mm.
back with, because I think that they played well, and then at States they didn't do fantastic.
Right.
But it's
But
like
I
one of
think
those
those-
tournaments that like, are you
Yeah.
sending? Is everybody going to Torrington, Connecticut for this?
It's just you're just getting guys to go there so you can make sure you're eligible for Worlds.
Yeah. The
And
other
with
team,
those pickups, Blackout's going to be interesting.
right? They were for the
For
Firecracker.
the Firecracker, right? That's why I
Yeah.
mean, like seeing how they continue to build.
Yeah. So the other team though I was looking at is that Deluxe Bakery team.
I was going to say this is the
That
game
team's
of
going
the
to be good.
tournament
Yeah.
right away.
The team's going to
Sorry.
be good.
I'm excited. I don't mean to keep talking over you.
No, go for it.
No, I don't want. I'm not trying to like talk. I'm excited with you. Like we're sharing excitements right now.
He took a pill for that ED. He's getting excited.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was blue and it was chewy. No, I'm kidding. I don't need it. Oh,
So you're saying Toro does? You're saying Toro
Dora wins.
comes away with that tournament? That would be
Toro
a
wins
huge win
easy.
for them. I think that they're not out of the question.
Dora
They
wins
score a
easy.
ton of runs.
They win
I think
easy.
Yeah, Toro. I think that Juno team's going to be good. I think Deluxe Bakery,
Is that Sleuts, or that's our guy's Sleuts team, right?
Juno. Yeah.
With that big fucking Jersey Devil motherfucker. God damn it, that was a big man, and he was a pinch runner and shit too.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
was his name?
I don't know. You were
Hart-
very
The big lefty dude, right? I think his name
Yeah.
is Big Lefty Dude. Yeah.
Big lefty Jersey Devil motherfucker. That was his. I think that was his official name.
yeah. It was tough for him growing up. Henderson.
Yeah.
Hendershaw.
Hender fucking huge
Hen-
cock.
Okay.
Chris Hendershot.
Hendershot.
Chris Hendershot, that big Jersey fucking devil motherfucker. Like, look at this fucking guy. Hold on. Look at
You're sharing now.
no, I can't share because there's a minor in that picture. I just want a picture of him. Yeah, I'm not gonna share a picture. That would have been bad. See, I've still got some of my wits about me. Fucking Chris
There
Hendershot,
you
that
go.
big Jersey devil motherfucker. But no, and Sleuts, and who doesn't love Sleuts? Well, it sounds like everybody, but we love Sleuts.
Yeah, I mean they had a hell of a firecracker, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how they do. And I feel
Mm.
like that team is like some of Force Painting too, possibly
Hopefully
from
they go
last
to
year,
the
and
Nationals.
they did well in this tournament last year. I think they were runner up. So I don't know. C is pretty good. Where there's going to be one or two teams that come in the top 5 that you don't expect. I think.
There is going to be somebody like we could see.
It could literally be any of them. It
I
seems
don't-
like
Not Killa. We can see
they're
6
top.
in the final 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think there's 2 teams. I think there's probably 2 teams that we won't see in the maybe 3 we won't see in the final 5.
Yeah, that's a
I think
good.
the
That's
rest
a good division right there.
Mhm.
Because no one can look at that and pick out a winner either. So
I just did Toro Construction.
right, other than Toro, yeah.
To other than Toro.
Because I mean I do agree that that C is in a really good spot right now in the Northeast. I still don't think that there's going to be a C team that does well at Worlds.
When you
still
say
on
does
that.
Worlds, what is that?
Top
10?
top 10, I would say top 5.
All right, so
That's
top
really
5.
That's
See, I
really
think
well. Yeah, top 10. I guess top 10 is that's cool.
Top 10's good.
Getting
You go down to
bumped.
Worlds and do good.
Top 7.
So getting the bump from placement.
Yep. I'd say that's doing well at that's doing well at Worlds.
Getting bumped up here in B, it's tough. I mean, you tried it, and you didn't have Rob with PF. You didn't have Joel with Chosen. You didn't have Keith with Beloli.
Yep.
It's
We
hard.
did have some great sponsors.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you didn't have great sponsors, and I know you had great sponsors. That's not what I'm saying. But Rob with PF,
right. Yeah.
I'm saying there's individuals there that are bringing money that are have the backing with some. You had to go out and find your sponsors. Is what I'm saying. It was Dustin
multiple.
with bad beat.
Yeah, and the thing is that we went down to Worlds and we had our best B tournament. Not our, but we had the best record in B that we had all year. We went 2-2. So I mean,
wild.
But it wasn't though. The teams weren't. We played True in the first game that we played, and they were really, really good. And then the other team that we played that was really good was Cheap Suits both of those teams got bumped to A in the last 2 years.
But it's
so those but the other teams were I saw some teams that were just they were good.
Yeah.
They were decent B teams, but you can go 2-2 to 4-2 in a B from the Northeast without major, without being one of the major sponsors. Having one of the major sponsors in the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think with you guys, with everything, how it kind of unfolded the next year, it was unfortunate because you had that momentum going into, would have been this year. Right?
No, it would have been last year.
2 years ago. Yeah. Last year.
And then we came out in the A and we played the team that came in 4th in B and we lost by 3 runs, a 39-36 game. So I mean, we were decent, and I would say that our A guys that year were not. Most of the A guys from around our area are not real A guys. If you go out there and look at it.
Speaking of A guys that are B elite or higher, Miles. Anybody want
speaking of
Miles?
Speaking of A guys that are B elite.
Anybody need a fucking big lefty, fucking first baseman, Miles, catcher? Somebody grab our guy's Miles.
400 feet, right? Yeah.
Grab Miles.
Get Miles on your team.
Fuck.
Yeah, consensually grab him.
Joel, what are you doing for this for fucking Worlds? Get Miles. But no, it is interesting. I'm curious to see. I hope a C team goes down there and gets bumped. I also don't hope at the same point. I know this is kind of, my good English coming in. I don't hope anybody goes down there and does well in C, because I would like to see the C division continue to grow and continue to get stronger. And I think another year of competitive C ball, or adding another team or two to C that is raising the level of C in the Northeast, would be good, because then you see some more tournaments opens,
I think 5 D teams could easily just move into C and be pretty close to 500. You play enough C, you're gonna beat teams. I think the Hitmen or A&D, I think they were legitimately a decent C team.
You don't say. A team that got a full reclass is a decent C team.
I think they're right around 500. And the thing that I just don't like about it is we went to C and we were 500 for two years, and then we went to B. And we came in our first year. We were 500 and we came in 2nd in C Nationals that year for our first year. You just have good tournaments. You have to actually go out there and you have to grind every single game rather than have a few layups and then play a decent team.
Play a shitty team that I could pitch and win by 10. No, I don't disagree with you. And I mean, you definitely look at some guys on that team like Eric Locke, fucking guy's a C hitter all day.
He might even be able to hit in Bs. You can hit if you're a good hitter in C's, you can hit in B's.
Yeah, and he
You can hit anywhere,
they've got
really.
a lot of those guys, and there's probably a couple. You're right. There probably is a couple teams around the Northeast and the D that could probably make that jump. And I've been adamant about it. I want to play C before I'm done. Like, I'm playing C ball. Like, I would love to get that opportunity.
Locally, it's the
fun.
best.
Yeah.
Locally, it's the best that you can get.
Yeah, and you can just go up there and fucking swing. You see an outside ball, you drive it outside. You see an inside ball, you drive it inside. If it goes, it goes. If it's not like D-ball where it's like, it's an inside ball, I want to hit this 5-6, I don't want to fucking blow it out or whatever. Or you hit an accidental, there goes the inning. So,
No,
but anyway.
I just want to touch on that. To some degree, there's still, I think that becomes a problem when guys just go up there and say, if I hit it, I hit it. I think when you're no home runs left, it becomes that, but you still can't use D. We ran into that where we used our home runs in C horribly. And that does come back. That does come back and bite you in the ass. If you hit it, you hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is that point that I just.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't think
there's a time and a place for everything. Like a guy like me or J-Ro, there's a guy on first and we hit a line drive home run that's in a gap. Like, that's not a bad thing. That's better than hitting into a double play.
But if you're dropping your shoulder and fucking going for a bomb with nobody on, you're, regardless of what level you're at, you're a fucking loser. Like,
or you just
unless
it's
a situation, or it's the situation you're down $1 million and you need to get the boys fired up,
or you're the DHH. Like, we'll see this weekend.
Who is the DHH? TBD still.
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm not sharing my screen for this E.
Nah, it's not worth it.
I'm sorry, E teams, but it's like there's 51 of you. Like, what do you want from me?
We've all, and here's the only reason I want to share it. You want to share it for the C. I forgot to look at it.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why. I will tell you, like, Cookie's crew is coming into this E National. They've got a 3:30 draw, so the boys are going to be buzzing. They're going to be all game up, hydrationed, fucking ready to go. Now, here's the thing with Cookie's crew. Can they continue this hot streak they're on? They just won ASA. They won GSL, I believe, as well. They have top 3 U-Trip finishes, US U-Trip state champs, GSL state champs, ASA state champs, 3 NITs. They're 29 and 8 in class. 2 forfeit. They had to forfeit 2 games because they couldn't go. Here's the thing. You're the team to beat, hands down.
Yeah.
Can you battle through this? How does this line up? Now, I'll tell you what, your path to winners bracket quarterfinals is a layup.
So you think Cookie's crew is expected to do the best here?
I think Cookie's crew, if they don't finish top 3, it's a fucking disappointment.
Okay. They're not even top 3 in power rating in this tournament.
Really? Well, because you got those New York teams.
You got the 2 New York teams, and then you have Young Guns, who've had a fantastic year.
But here's my question, too. Who do Young Guns, they've had a great year. What do they have when it comes to pickups this weekend? I feel like they have a lot of pickups usually. Or am I just speaking on?
No, you're thinking of teams picking up these guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
They get picked.
For
they were the ones
states,
that,
I think.
Holy shit. Young Guns
6 and 8 in D.
What?
Yeah. Like they're good. And Cookie's crew is 6 and 12 in D. So I mean, Young Guns looks good, and Gnarly Narwhals, they don't lose much.
I'm telling you, so I'm with you. So my thing is, I didn't even think about Young Guns. Thunder Gun Express, because I've watched them a lot, and I like that team. I think that's a good one. Gnarly Narwhals in New Hampshire. The only problem is with them, I feel like they haven't played A, up, or B, outside of New Hampshire a lot. New Hampshire, Mass. Am I wrong in that?
Gnarly,
You're talking.
No, I don't think they've traveled too much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
But if you look at Cookie's crew, they haven't traveled outside of Connecticut. They went to the Beast.
Everybody kind of comes to you guys.
Gnarly went to the Firecracker. That looks like the only travel I'm seeing.
Wow. Like Scrappy Dudes. I'm very curious about the Scrappy Dudes team. I'm always curious about New York team. And then, but here's the thing. You have Buggy's Plumbing, who's always sneaky. Fat Man Mingaville, those old fucking crippled.
They're old
fucks.
and very young.
They're either 50 plus. You either have to be like, if you're over 40 years old, but you're not yet 50, you have to be over 300 pounds or have a degenerate hip, or you have to be like barely able to buy beer. I don't know, man. This is a pretty good fucking, like the top teams in this tournament. Like I'm actually down to Hearts Construction in power rankings. And really, you go north of Hearts, and that's like 15 teams. I'd feel pretty good about being there on Sunday.
Yeah, another team that no one's brought up is also the Wolfpack. The Pack,
JLG,
baby.
the boys.
Yeah, the Pack is 5-2 in D.
They don't have. They went on that run at the Firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
They won 5 games. They went 5-1, but they don't have the pitcher that they had at that tournament.
Because that was the Young Guns pitcher.
The 603 pitcher, or no, it was the 603's backup pitcher.
Yeah, Young Guns pitch for them in the.
Why don't they
New
just
Hampshire.
pick up the backup pitcher?
He won't leave
For
603.
603.
He won't leave.
Jeez.
Why would he leave and go be the starter for Wolfpack and go make a run? I tell you what, we played Young Guns in the Firecracker. I mean, we beat them, but like they gave Big Time Apparel a game. They were a good group of guys, good bunch of players. I also hit 5 doubles against them, but whatever.
That's the real reason you bring up that.
I'm all so Jewed up right now, boys. No, but this Young Guns team has done well a lot in a lot of tournaments. So this is where you start to see teams come together, right? Like you see Northern New England play Southern New England. You get a lot of New York in here, which maybe you don't get every, those Long Island teams sometimes stay on Long Island. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? They don't typically, like, looking at these Long Island teams, they haven't played up a bunch. So now you're really, I like the E tournament because I feel like it's almost like an even playing field almost. If that makes sense. In way of competition. Because you're playing, a lot of them play regionally and don't travel as much as you maybe want.
So I don't know, maybe I would just use a different word, but you're saying you're like the main teams play the main teams. The New Hampshire teams tend to play just them. So we don't actually know necessarily what we're going to get from these teams.
Correct. I think that's exactly what he's saying. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying in some roundabout fucking way.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's a 51 team tournament. It's all about what you draw. That's why looking at Cookie's crew with that draw they have, awesome. Now I'm looking at Bonfire. Like I look at the Wolfpack. Nothing personal, Spartans. Okay. Then you got Wolfpack. So then you play that game. But now you're playing into the winner of City Sound and Mingaville. 2 top 15 power rating teams. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where I start to say it. Like start to look at some of these, and it's like and then go to the deeply needed spot, and you got scrappy dudes who've been playing on qualifiers down in Long Island. Deeply needed is below 500, but just been playing a ton. Can they see 603 in this winner's bracket quarterfinal? Something like, you know what I mean? So like, it really is at the end of the day all about, and you're going to get potentially a Buggy's Plumbing Young Guns in round and Young Guns first game.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But it just by looking at it, it looks like Young Guns should probably beat them.
A GEC team that's playing
Buggies.
I mean, they're 16-6.
Oh, really? Where are they?
They're 0-3 in D's, but they're power. I mean, I think kind of going off of what you were just saying about the power, like playing only the same teams in your area. What you'll end up seeing, you'll see there are some really good teams in a state, and they just play each other, and then they beat up on everybody else. So their records get inflated by that, but their losses are to teams with high winning percentages, so their power rankings creep up. Right. And so I think that goes around with what you're saying. And just like 1176 is only 91st nationally. Once you start getting up in the levels, that you can see a much bigger discrepancy in what power rankings actually means.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. This tournament, I am excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. We won't be watching it. No offense to the E guys. Dustin and I are going to be playing in Ohio.
Yeah,
We're going to be
hitting
keeping
bombs out there.
Fucking right we are, and I'm going to have the goddamn windmill going at third. But I'm going to keep an eye on this because this is going to be a fun fucking weekend. This is going to be. There's going to be a team that we have like Mingaville went on a fucking. Speaking of which,
Yeah, it's a nice hat.
little fat man Mingaville. They went on a run last year as like a 500 team. So is there, what 500 team in here goes on a run this year? Alter Ego Apparel calling out Cookies Crew already. Do they go on a run? Does a team like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like Chaos, do they go on a run? Something like crazy like that. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here with these results. And I'm excited to play this weekend.
I can't fucking wait to be in Columbus. I've got
It's gonna be nice.
After we win with our rings, I got a great place to go get a beer right near the airport. It's a aged barrel stout, funky fucking brewery.
You've been
Vinny and I
talking
went
about
there.
this. I don't think we'll have enough time.
I will make time
Flight is
for
pretty
us.
close to that.
So is mine. 6:30.
Is this the
After
one with
we
the
win, we're gonna fucking do it.
area with the video games that you play with Vinny?
Yes.
Is it that place?
And fucking skee ball.
Mm-hmm.
That we're
Those
gonna
little
miss a
gassers.
flight.
I'm going to Chicago, so whatever.
Oh,
I can get the
there you go.
8:30. Yeah, I'm going to Chicago for the night. It'll be great. Well, I've got my fantasy football draft with my company. I'm going to Chicago for Monday. Took Monday off. I'm going to be swimming through the fucking river.
You have to take the day off to do a fantasy draft with your coworkers? I feel like that's just a bonding trip.
Bondage trip? Yes. In. Let's go.
Don't do that. No, with coworkers, that's where that's where HR comes involved.
Where's OC when you need him?
Oh boy, catching strays.
He showed up on the League podcast though this week.
Yeah, without fucking
Dude,
sleep.
yeah, he's on a
Okay.
he's on the
Mr. I
bike. He's
work
like, "Hey,
out.
I'm working out." Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We know
We
you're
get it.
Holding the flex the whole time too.
Yeah, okay, you can see your dick when you look down. Good for you. Good for you.
For those listeners here, you're not going to hear that. You have to be exclusive to the Merrimack page, I believe.
That is
so.
true. That is true. We pulled the league out. What do you got? You got anything? We good? What do you want to do? Want to fuck around a little bit? Want to fuck around and find out?
Are you asking if I want to fight you?
Oh, speaking of which, want to fight? I want to fight you with my foot-long full ounce unload in a little BP home run derby.
There's a home run derby?
You and I.
Between the two
I
of
want
you.
to have you and I.
Oh, versus 1v1?
Yeah, me versus you.
Oh my!
I have to pitch.
You do realize I don't get in. I'll do it, but I don't get in home run derbies to hit home runs. I pitched to guys.
I know, actually, no. I was just saying that. It was just a way to segue into the BIP 21 sluggerslowpitch.com.
There we go.
Where I got the For the Fallen on the way, $147 shipped to my door. Let's go. 27.5 ounces.
It's a nice bat. Those
So now
12-inch barrels are so
So I got the Catalyst at 26. I got the For the Fallen at 27. Then I got the Baseball Town at 26. And then I've got the Sanchez at 27.5.
For the Fallen is 27.5, I believe.
Yes, sorry, 27.5.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
you
half
felt
ounce.
that Baseball Town yesterday. I wish I let you swing it. I didn't get there in time because I didn't know you were
Felt heavy. If the max load being at 0.75, which does not make any sense.
None. But the power load on the For
Yeah.
the Fallen is an ounce.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just wish there was, again, like player classifications. I wish the end load was the same across all bat companies because everyone knows what balanced means.
Yeah, there's nothing
Right?
there.
Yeah. So, I mean, why can't we make, max load, half load? Like Easton was doing like this, like player optimization load or something like that for a while. Like,
Mule.
what are
does
we
that mean?
talking about? Like, can we just say quarter? half,
Yeah.
3/4 full. Maybe get
Well-
spicy, do a 1.5 or 2.
Oh, creepers. That thing would swing me.
Well, that's what I like about. That's what I like about. That's what I like about Juno, right? Is that you just pick your end load and they put it right there.
It's like going to Burger King where you can have it your
Build-A-Bear.
way.
Fuck Burger King. Burger King's the worst.
But you can have it your way, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing? Or is that McDonald's? I don't remember.
Mary, fuck, kill. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. Go. No, fuck this.
Okay.
After a tournament, Mary, fuck, kill, leaving the Plex. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Popeyes.
I'm marrying
Popeyes.
I'm marrying Popeyes. I'm fucking Popeyes. And I'm killing the other two. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck that thing
There's
every
no
chance
other
I get.
answer. No one's going
Really?
to McDonald's after the Plex.
And I didn't even know there was
Or
a Taco Bell.
Bell?
I'm gonna shit my pants in the
sounds
first porta potty we pass.
Oh my God.
I love Taco Bell after a tournament.
Oh
Oh.
my God. That's
I'll get the nachos. I'll
preposterous.
get like 4 tacos. I'll get a big old Dr. Pepper.
Here's
Nachos-
here's the thing about Taco Bell, especially when you're driving. Dude, it gets fucking everywhere in the car.
Yeah. Nachos sounds like the perfect choice on the fucking
Does
long
it
drive
look
home.
like? Look at me. Like I know
I'm
how
just
to
saying,
eat
like,
this shit in a car while I'm
I
driving. I
understand,
used to
but
eat
like
full meals when I was driving.
I understand.
Filet is
And
delicious.
I understand. And like you cannot eat a Taco Bell taco without getting fucking lettuce and tomato all over the place. It's just not possible.
Yeah, you're kind of. Yeah.
But here's what I'm talking about, Popeyes. You got that buttermilk biscuit
Yeah.
in every
Yeah, I'm
box,
listening. Mhm.
you know? And then for a side, you get the mac and cheese
Mhm.
every time.
Then you make a
Is that
sandwich
good?
with it. Yeah.
Really?
Dude, after a tournament on your
Yeah.
getting ready for a 3-hour drive home where you probably gonna sleep at some point because of all the food you just ate. So you're just like
I used to just
Hopefully
yell at him.
you're
goes
as he's
off,
driving.
goes off for a few minutes. You're like, ooh.
I need to. So what I'll typically do is I'll get in the car and I get going. I'll typically stop. So when you come out and you go right, there's that pizza shop. Not Jim and Maria's. It's in the strip where the taco joint is and the Packy is. I allegedly may or may not go and get a non-alcoholic beverage from the Packy. And then I'll go into the pizza shop. I'll get a couple slices and I'll get a Fox and Road soda, preferably birch beer.
You have
Birch
this
beer's
down.
nice.
Hmm?
Birch beer's nice. Why wouldn't you just get the pizza from the fucking fire pizza place, John and Maria's?
Because that
Rather
takes
than
long.
getting
That's like
slices
because you
at
got to
this-
walk in and go get slices. Well, the last time I did that, I walked in. I was like, "Hey, can I just get a slice of cheese and a slice of roni?" And I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna crush this birch beer real quick. I'm gonna go get some juice boxes from the Packy, and the guy gave me literally like 12 slices of pizza. It was
sounds
10,
okay.
it was right before they closed. I'm like, he's
Ah,
like, I gave you a couple more. I'm like, all right.
Gave you a couple
I got in
extra?
the truck.
You're like,
Yeah, I
"This
got
is
in
a
the
full
truck. I
pizza
had like
and a half."
6 slices on the ride home. Like, all right, it was still like fucking $10. I'm like, all right, this works. Amanda's like, you brought me home Sloots. Amanda brought me. She's like, you brought me home Connecticut pizza. I was like, sure did.
Yeah. And
Sloots,
doing that,
does anybody like you? What'd
I
you
don't
say,
trust him.
Corey.
I was going to say, with your stop, everything's in that. You only have to take a right, and then you take a right and you're right back on. You don't have to cross the main road. That's my kind of driving right there.
Popeye,
So,
yeah, Popeyes.
yeah.
And plus you're like, let's be real. Like you're getting Popeyes because we got Popeyes every single time we left.
We actually did go to that McDonald's one time.
Did we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also
No.
And it wasn't me that had to shit. Josh had to shit.
Oh,
Wasn't even
because
stopping for
McDonald's
me.
has a pretty
Oh,
nice
good, yeah,
bathroom.
good bathroom.
I mean, for what we're for fast food, McDonald's
And-
might be the king of thrones.
Every once in a while, that Popeyes is closed. I don't know if something just happened at it. I don't know what's going on, but sometimes it's closed or that line is just blocking the street. So
Dustin, you actually introduced me to shitting at the grocery stores.
yeah, Shaw's.
Yeah, grocery
So I
stores
started-
are nice.
Yeah, when you're at a tournament and you need a shit, you go.
Oh
to a grocery
yeah,
store.
the Shaw's near the Merrimack. That was
Mhm.
nice. That was
Yeah.
that one time I went there. Yeah.
There's a single.
Just
there's
make
a
sure you
family.
bring your own water bottle so you can bring your own bidet because they don't have them at the supermarkets.
Allegedly, you can walk through the aisle and get the wipes. in case they don't have toilet paper, which may sometimes be the
Wow.
case.
That's a fucking elite move right there.
Yeah.
That is like you get the dude wipes.
I didn't say I did it.
I'm just saying you and the royal you gets the dude wipes.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes you might walk in there and they don't have any toilet paper. What are you supposed to do? Be a
I'm just
fucking
saying, like
caveman and use my bare hand?
anytime you actually have to go, like you might as well just grab. You have to be a customer, right? For the most part. I mean, that's
there's
the
a sign
rule.
that says
Yeah,
no merchandise past this point, but you can just take the sign off the wall and move it.
it's true. You flash it to them. You're like, I'm going to use these.
It's okay.
Hey,
I'm a
scan
limo
this
driver.
real quick.
Yeah. You can stand right there. Well, now come back in 15.
Oh my fucking god!
Give us one thing, one time, all right? Let us wipe our tushes and feel clean about it.
Like I'm already
That's-
excited to fly home for Tuesday because I will be back on my bidet. I have 2 bidets in my house, one in each bathroom, and there's nothing better than being on my bidet. My butthole, like I might not even shit. Like sometimes you get the swamp ass. I'll just sit down on the toilet and I'll spray the balls a little. I'll spray the taint. I'll make sure I get the booty. I'll scooch forward, get like the back of the booty, scooch forward, get the fucking back of the ball bag. Everything's clean. I'm up. Sometimes I'll let it air dry, and he yells at me when I let it drip. And then
I feel like
I was
that's
just
great.
about to ask.
Rude.
I was about to ask because I have only used a bidet a few times when I was in Italy.
Okay.
Cool.
You spray, right?
Yeah.
And then do you use toilet paper to wipe
Yes.
to dry it
Yeah,
off?
I'll dry
Here's
it
the
off.
thing I don't like about this.
It sometimes gets stuck.
Toilet paper and water don't fucking they don't make a good mixture.
No, they don't. No.
So I mean,
No.
yeah. We were staying in like Airbnb, so I just grab a towel. Dude, why wouldn't you go with a bidet towel?
So here's the thing. I tell you what. So we got these
It's like a
This
handkerchief for your asshole.
like a pee bib in the league.
Yeah,
like,
you just keep it in your back pocket.
What, you accidentally bring that one out to the mound, though?
Got some
oh,
nice,
man, this ball's
nice
stack
stack on
stinky
that.
as fuck.
Stink ball.
It's
Got
all
'em.
shit. Wrong tail.
Stink ball.
Oh, I tell you, so it cut down on my toilet paper consumption. I would say tenfold. Because now I only get like.
And
a
how are the
little-
hemorrhoids that
Gone.
non-existent, right?
Gone. Hemorrhoids
Yeah.
are gone. I used to get, so in case if you're a new listener, I used to get big old hemorrhoids.
Have you come out and said this?
No, probably not.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna
Every
say,
once
if you're a
in a
new
while.
listener or an old listener, because
You're
I think
just a
I'm hearing this for the
listener.
first time too. But I just
Oh, yeah.
figured like that's a bidet move. Like you just
I figured, I think probably like once every 18 months I used to get a fucking nasty, like I got a couple that were so bad, maybe a couple years. I was so bad, like I actually called off from work and I had to go get it lanced. I was out and then we were out and I would stick in paper towels in my booty crack, so it was like a fucking ass pawn. It was a tampon for my ass.
Oh, the man pawn.
Yeah, it was, I mean, they were big old balloon knots too. They were like big old balloon knots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout
But
out
now
to
you have a
the
bidet,
women.
and that doesn't happen anymore.
Doesn't happen. My butthole's happy. It's clean. Still
That's
doesn't
wonderful.
get it eaten.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Need to get
It's a great story here tonight on Bring It Podcast.
I think it really.
Speaking of that, have a
Join
great
in
weekend,
next
everyone.
week
See you guys.
where we
Next
dive
week.
deep inside the asshole.
Can we call it an anus, please? Let's be
Yeah.
polite.
Where we
A
move
new-
from the stream of the bidet right into the asshole, where we jump right in.
How to milk your prostate next week on Bring a Podcast.
Mr.
Bring it